You have got to be about the most superficial commentator on conlang since the idiotic Gilson. Did I miss the one where you said which conlang you're fluent in and read at least 3 times a week and can read new books in every week of even 1 year? Or, or listen to radio shows in every week? New radio shows? New radio shows? Yeah, I'm surprised you don't know that there were radio shows put out in Esperanto every week. I thought you were supposed to be an expert. And which of the conlangs are you fluent in? Oh, I was born in 1998, so I don't know what a radio is. Sorry. I suppose you think that's cute, but what that makes you is a fraud. Yeah, but I'm a cute fraud, though, right? I assume that anyone who is reading this should assume, since you have not mentioned which one you actually can speak, that the answer is you don't speak any of them. Let me guess. You can speak English and maybe a little tiny bit of a second language, but you couldn't actually live what you know of it. Typical. Sina sona ike. Mi ken toki ke peken toki pona. Taso ora li toki lili. Yan areli ken kama sona toki ke peken ora ke peken tepu lili. Tepu pilila mi toki ala e ora tani. Dili ale. Toki Pono or whatever it is? Give me a break. Show me the bibliography. Show me the speaking language community. Show me the technical literature written or translated into it. Show me the literature from many countries translated into it. I wonder, since its inspiration is supposed to be Taoism, if they've translated any of the literature of Taoism into it. Toki Pona is a game that is a little above Pig Latin and way below Edo. About its only virtue is that it lacks the nationalistic hegemony of basic English. I'd love to see someone try to translate a 4th grade level chapter book into it, or try to. Why don't you wow us by translating the little legend that could? Or no, an even better demonstration, how about you translate Gerda Malopoulos into it? Ouch. I can translate... No, not wrong person. I can translate the entirety of Moby Dick if you want to challenge me. Also, Toki Pona has a whole community unlike slowly dying Edo. I'm not an Idist, I'm an Esperantist, a language which has the largest cog-leg community in history. I bet you couldn't even translate Moby Dick into Toki Pona and have anyone who hadn't read the original tell you what was going on in most of it. I'll bet your translation would be controversial. The language is radically vague except when talking about the simplest things. It wasn't designed to talk about complicated things. Its inventor said as much. I just looked at an article. I noticed that it says the inventor of Toki Pona translated the Tao Te Ching into Esperanto. I like how she purposely limited the number of words for numbers so it wouldn't be easy to talk about big numbers in the language. Numbers like 5 and 16 apparently. I've got nothing against people playing in the language, but to pretend it's a real language with even an unsophisticated range of usefulness is simply not true. Seems to me if they're going to be true to the inventor's intention, they can't really make it so. Zamenhof invented Esperanto to do that, and he built in means of extending a fairly small vocabulary into a far larger number of usable words. Claude Piron was able to write some fairly technical and sophisticated books, as well as crime novels, and even beginner books like Gerda Malopoulos that, by the end of the book, feel quite normal. I really meant it when I said that though I studied French and German for years and used them practically every day, Esperanto is the only secondary language that I can use with practically the same fluency and feel of fluency that I do my native English. And I don't speak it all that often compared to French. Simplicity does not mean stupidity. All of your points rely on the claim that simple things are for idiots. I know it may be difficult to translate things into Toki Pona, but that does not mean it is a dumb language. You can easily translate many things into Vakio, but that does not make it a good language. A language of 120 words designed by its inventor to not be able to express complex ideas or numbers bigger than, what was it in the official vocabulary, 2, cannot express complex thoughts in a clear manner. It would be like trying to translate a modern novel to an ancient language in which modern ideas and things had no vocabulary. Only without having the freedom to invent neologisms, as they did in Finland when they tried to do their Latin news reports. They were popular, but they had to invent a lot of words to pull it off. I will bet if you came up with a Toki Pona translation of Gerda Malopoulos by Claude Piron, most of the users of Toki Pona wouldn't understand what the story is about or what's happening during most of it. Go on, prove me wrong. There must be an English translation of it somewhere. Somehow they start talking about Trump in here somewhere, but I'll just read Jan Weasley's last actually good comment here. My favorite part of this... Okay, well, no, wait, sorry. Wow, this song is still going, huh? Shame that it somehow became about politics somewhere in there, but I guess that's what happens when a YouTube comment thread lasts over 3 heckin' months. My favorite part of this, okay, one of my favorite parts of this, I just can't choose one part to like, it's all so good, is that Anthony keeps saying that if nobody responded to his first comment, then this thread wouldn't have happened. It's really funny because the first comment he made was saying that I don't speak any conlangs that fit a really specific set of requirements that literally only reply to Esperanto. And my response was literally just repeating the last thing he said. And then after that, I made a joke about being bored after radio stopped being relevant. And somehow that provoked Anthony into writing these heckin' essays about how Toki Pono or whatever it is isn't a real language because it doesn't have very many words. That's the point of the language, you dingus. My other favorite part is when he wrote a multi-paragraph response to when Seth Rafter said lol. That was really good.